Welcome back to Python tutorial 1 of the course Time Dependent Quantum Chemistry. In this tutorials, Python tutorials, we are going over different techniques for scientific computing, and slowly we are nudging ourselves to the computation we require to explore time dependent quantum chemistry. So far we have gone over simple computation, different techniques of computation, simple arithmetic computation. Then we have checked how to use different mathematical functions in Python. And in this session we will go over simple graphing tools, how to create how to plot a mathematical function for our visual inspection. So the procedure is following. Previously we have seen that how to create a list, and that list can be used as x-axis, which is like we had 10, 20, 30, like this way we prepared the list. And this list was prepared using Python built-in list functionality, as well as the list was prepared previously with arrange functionality imported after importing arrange functionality from SciPy. We will use arrange functionality. This is very powerful functionality because this gives me an array. Array is a matrix. We will discuss it later, but for the time being we will consider it as a list of numbers we are getting. So first thing what you have to do to prepare a graph is that to create the list of x values using arrange functionality of SciPy. That's the first thing we have to do. So we prepare the x-axis value first, and all the numbers in the x-axis value should be given. Then the y function value for each x value will be prepared. Thereafter we have to plot the function using plot functionality of matplot library pyplot. This is another module which will be using for plotting purpose. Matplot library dot pyplot. This is the module which will be using. In this module there is a functionality called plot functionality, and we'll be using this plot functionality. In the same module we have another functionality to display the plot using show. Without this show functionality we will not be able to display the graph. So these are the following steps. These are the steps we have to follow, and let's look at our task is to plot a sine function over the range 0 to 5. So let's look at how to do that. We will be first importing the libraries which are required right now from SciPy. Import sine function, because sine function will be plotting, then comma a range. These are the two functionalities which will be imported from SciPy. Then from matplot library dot pyplot. This is another module for plotting, graphing in Python. Import plot and show. These are the two functionalities which will be imported. So first thing we are doing is importing required functionalities importing required functionalities. We have given this instruction with a hash sign. so it will not be executed when you are running the program. Now we'll be creating x values or x grid. In computational language, it is also called grid. We'll discuss this grid later. So we are creating the x values now, and note how I am writing the instruction for my own benefit, for future reading and for anybody who can easily go through the program. I can give space here to separate each section. So now I'm going to define x value, x equals a range, and I'm going to prepare starting from 0 ending up to 5.0, and then step size I'm taking considering 0.1. This is the x value. So it will create a list of x values. Then I'm going to create y values, and this is simply, if I write down y equals sine of x, if I do that, then x is a list. Similarly, y will be a list of the sine value corresponding to each x value. So it will automatically do that. For each one, I do not need to prepare. Y list is prepared directly. So sine functionality can accept the list as a variable. Then I'm plotting xy function. Note that we are using capital letter. You can also use small letter, but if you are using capital letter, use capital always, otherwise you will get syntax error. And then after plotting, we have to displaying xy function. It will show up all the curves I am plotting. So now I'm going to run this program. If I run the program, immediately I get back the sine function, which is starting from 0, ending not to 5, but the previous point in the list. And the previous point is going to be 4.9. 5 here will be excluded. As I mentioned that if you use arrange functionality from SciPy, it will not take the end point in the list. So I have been able to plot it. One can save the data, save the plot accordingly. So this is the technique to plot the sine function. But if you look at the plot itself requires lot of editing. Editing requires because we would like to place a title in this plot. We would like to place one x-axis, y-axis, then we would like to name it, and we would like to change the font size. There are many editing which is required right now, and the editings can be also done, and for each editing I have to import the functionality. So as you can remember that from matplot library pyplot module, submodule, I have previously imported plot and show functionalities. Now I'm going to import x label, y label, tick parameters, and title. All this needs to be imported. And remaining part is the same, is just the formatting part is here. So if we look at plotting xy function with required formatting of the line, so the line formatting, so if I have one graph and if I have a plot like this, then this is going to be, this is called plot. What I am plotting, the curve. And for that I need x and y value. Previously we have given xy value, plot xy. This time we are going to specify the color of the plot, line style of the plot. There are many line styles which can be used for this, and line width also I'm going to define. What is the width of this line? That also I'm going to define. So this is called plot, and different formattings are given here. One can change these numbers, line style and color of the plot. Now going back to the formatting the graph, x level, what I'm writing here, this is called x level. And in the x level, within quote, I will write down the string which will be written here and associated font size. That's the way x level will be defined. Y level will be defined like this way here, y level. Similarly, I have a text specifying the y level and font. These are the x level and y level. Tick parameters. Tick parameters, what are they? There are ticks which will be used here to show the and this can be some value, let's say 0, then this is probably 1, this is probably 2, like this way. This is just an example. And in the tick parameters, so these are tick parameters. In the tick parameters, what we have written, direction equals in, it means that these lines, tick lines, will be inside the graph. If it is out, then it would be like this. This is going to be out direction, and what we have shown here is in direction. Then this whole part, left, right, all these are shown to show the tick in every direction, bottom, top, side, every direction. Then the width is how wide each tick lines would be. That's the width. Length, how long is going to be each tick, that's the length. And label size, this size of the label, so it would be bigger if we increase the label size. Then title comes here, and within title again I have quoted string which will be written, and font size and location, where it is. So these are the formats we are going to use. Let's look at the laptop and change the formatting. So I have x and y values. Then first we will be formatting the plot. Plot will be formatted by different color. Color equals red, then line style equals line width equals 3. So these are the formatting for the plot. Then we have some other formatting, x level. In the x level we have to write x, that is the string which will show up, and font size equals 15. One can change it according to the convenience. Similarly, we will use y level as sin x, font size 15, and then tick parameter, tick parameters direction equals in, bottom equals boolean, top left and right, width length equals. So I have selected these numbers because I know this is convenient for me, but the same numbers may not be convenient for others. You can change these numbers. And then finally title again, one string with a font size 15 and location left. So now I rerun the program and I have an error. Because why I am getting error? Because all these functionalities which I have used, y level, x level, tick parameters, then title, none of this has been imported from matplot library pyplot submodule. So we have to import it, x level, y level, tick params, title. So we have now imported tick params, title, tick params, y level, x level, yeah. So now we have everything. As you can see, the title location has been selected to be left for the title, and it is showing up on the left hand side. You can keep it in the center as well on the right hand side, but title will be placed here. Then tick parameters, as you can see, tick parameters are conveniently selected. Size of these values 0, 1, 2 are conveniently selected. They are inward direction. Then x level, y level has been selected, and this this is a plot which can be used for publication. So these are the parameters which we use all the time in this. This is a summary of what we have just mentioned so far. The plot style has been controlled by these parameters. Then X label has been controlled by these parameters. Then tick parameters has been controlled by this, and the Y label has been controlled by this. Title has been controlled by this. So give some time, take a look at it. There are so many information given today in the entire tutorial, and my suggestion is that take your time, go through each functionality which has been introduced today in this module, and try to solve some simple equation. For an example, you can convert EV or atomic unit to EV using the program, or you can plot a Gaussian function with the help of this matplot library. That can be easily done. We have come to the end of this session. In this session, in this Python tutorial session, what we have learned how to install Python, then how to run a Python program, and we have gone over simple computation, arithmetic computation, then using mathematical expression, and finally we have gone over how one technique we have learned, how to plot graph. There are many techniques which can be used in Python, but we have used one technique right now, and which can be commonly used in plotting one graph. We will end this session and we'll meet again.